Hello everyone, this is Dhruv. Today in this video, we will be discussing about how we can reverse a linked list. So before starting, let's discuss what is linked list. So linked list uses less rigid element and can be stored in non-contiguous location. They require additional values to the reference so that the next element can be stored. Every node in the linked list points to the next element in the linked list. Since they are non-contiguous, the size of the linked list can be altered at runtime. Memory is allocated to linked list at runtime. Linked list requires more memory since it includes reference to the next node. Overall, it uses less memory, and it also have an advantage that the previous element need to be traversed to reach a specific element, as compared to array operation like insertion or deletion are quick in linked list. So as given a linked list of integer. So this is a input and we have four nodes, this one and this one. We have a total four nodes in the linked list at address 100, 200, 150 and 250 respectively. Like this first node is also called a head node. This is the head node and is being pointed by this particular variable named head. So this particular variable is storing the address of the head node. Now in this case it is only a pointer. This is not a head node itself and we do not have any other identity of the linked list except the address of the head node. So given a linked list, this if we can reverse, doesn't mean that you have to move around the data. We cannot move 5 at address 100 and 2 into 50. The basic idea of the input is the head node is pointing towards this first linked list, second, third, fourth and so on up till it is pointing to the null. And when we have to output that the head node is pointing towards the consecutive addresses of the node. So every linked list has two parts. First is its data part and second is this address part. So every part of the linked list has its opposite side of these addresses that it can point. Here you are looking at 250, here is 150. So 200 is the previous node and 100 is also the previous node. So it is only pointing, and this at the address 100 should have address 0 or null. This one. In the next step, each of these node, this field is red is the data part and second field is the address part. So this we will be getting when we will be reversing the list. One is an iterative approach where we will be using a loop. We will traverse through the list and at each step we will be revert one of the link. Another solution is by using the recursion. In this video we will try to understand the iterative solution only as follows. So what we can do this, we traverse the whole list. We can keep track to the first node in a pointer for each group of k element in the linked list and reverse the order of the next k element from the first node of the current group using the algorithm. After reversing, the first node of the current group will become the last node and connected with the k plus 1th node of the linked list. The k plus 1th node will become the first node of the next group of the k element. Similarly, repeat the process for every group of k element till the whole linked list has been traversed. So basic approach to do this problem. So we will be using the struct node. So here we use node that it stores information like data. You are thinking that why we are using struct image. You want to store detail of a person, for example name of the person, age and salary. You will have to create 3 variables to store these values. But what if you have to store details of 20 people? Then you will have to create 60 variables that will be very inefficient way. In such scenario, we will create a struct data type named person and include all the details as member variable of this type, and then we will be reversing the linked list. The approach should be initialize the 3-pointer previous as null, current as head, and next as null.
So if we have a linked list, say 1 to entry, and return it into 3 to 1, so we can copy it into an array and reverse the array, and it builds a linked list from it. But real point of the question and the most linked list question basically although is the pointer manipulation. We wanna be able to do it in a linear time and constant space or big O of n space. So we're gonna look at the iterative way to reverse a singly linked list. So we are gonna be initialize a pointer. We need 2 pointers and a previous pointer, because when you have a single linked list you cannot get the node before you know that we need to remember that during the iteration. So we are gonna have a previous pointer and a current pointer to say we are at a current pointer and then the next pointer, because if we change the current to the next value we are going to lose our next pointer in the iteration, and we are gonna know when it to go in the next. So let's jump right into the code. Hash include stdio.h hash include stdlib.h. This is the use for general purpose standard like retrieve header file, and we have to include another file. His name is hash include assert. This is used for to define C3 processor macro assets. So type destruct node int data in data that stores the data as a value, and node so pointer is the next that store address of the next node, and void that reverse node head is the content to the next previous node. Is equals to head and head is equals to next, and this way we will be returning this as return. So let's run the code and see it works or not. Yeah, it's working. So the linked list is 0, 1, 2 and points with the null. Then we reverse it to 2, 1 and 0, and the result is passed. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time.